Hello everyone, my name is Donna Weber. I'm an Associate Professor of Practice here at Simmons, and I teach in the Archives program. What does Professor of Practice mean? It means I've worked for a long time. I've worked more than 30 years as an archivist before coming to Simmons. I've always loved history, and many years ago, I went to the University of Wisconsin in Madison to get what I thought would be a PhD in history. While I enjoyed the program, I did notice that there were an awful lot of very long-term graduate students hanging around the history building, and I decided that my ambition was not to be an unemployed PhD. Like many of my fellow students, I had found a job at the State Historical Society, where I worked for the Oral History Coordinator, and I discovered that there were jobs to be had in this strange field called archives where I could actually use my history. So I applied to the library school, and through them, I received an MLS with a specialty in archives. I've worked in Boston since graduation. My first job was at the Schlesinger Library at Radcliffe, where I spent 3 wonderful years processing the most wonderful collections that only confirmed my decision to become an archivist. I then moved on to MIT for 17 years, where I was the Associate Archivist and Records Manager. After a few more years at Harvard Medical School as their manuscripts librarian, Dr. Bastian invited me to become an adjunct professor in the Simmons program. 3 years later, I came full-time to Simmons as the college archivist. And then in 2011, I was asked to join the faculty full-time, where I teach the Intro course to Archives, the Archives Management course, Archives Outreach and Advocacy, and next spring, I'll be teaching Oral History. However, I suspect what will probably interest you the most right now is knowing that besides teaching, I also administer the internship program for the Archives program. So let me tell you a little bit about what's coming up for you in the spring for those of you who register for the Introduction to Archives, also known affectionately as 438. As part of 438, you'll do a 60-hour internship. In the fall, I'll be contacting you directly to start the conversation about where you'll do your internship. You'll need about 1 day a week for 9 weeks to complete it. Keep in mind, most archives are open 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Very few have weekend hours. If you're working full-time, you may want to start a conversation a little sooner with your supervisor about what kind of work time flexibility you might have available to you during the internship period. We'll ask you to fill out some information in our internship database, and then you and I will work together to identify sites where you might do your internship. I will contact them to arrange the internship. You don't need to do anything. While it isn't always possible to get your first choice, it's up to the sites, we'll do our best to work it out. The first internship is designed to give you experience working with archival materials. 2 years from now, you'll do another internship, the 130-hour Archives field experience. That is also your Archives capstone class. We'll ask you to update your database information again, and we'll work together then too to find a site. This time, we're going to shape the internship more to what your interests are. And once again, I will contact the site and set it up. If you have any questions about internships, don't hesitate to ask. I look forward to meeting all of you this fall as we work on those first internships, and I wish you much luck at Simmons. Welcome.